What is up, my dude? So today we're here with something a little bit different. It's not really a game, but it's me photoshopping. So there's a subreddit called r/PhotoshopBattles where basically they give you a picture and they ask you to just Photoshop it in a weird or fun way. So the picture that I found is of this soccer game with this dude in midair. I don't know how he got in the air like this, but well, I guess he jumped because look, what else is he gonna do? He's not gonna fly. That was stupid. Anyways, so I'm just masking him out to take him out of the background, get him on his own. And now I gotta start thinking about what kind of scene or picture I want to put him into. So I had the idea of like this zombie apocalypse sort of thing, where it's like destroyed city, he's like leaning over a barrier, zombies coming at him, he has a knife in his hand, I don't know. So the search for a picture that's gonna work starts there. So I just kind of searched for concrete fence and searched through them until I found this one. Unfortunately this one's heavily watermarked, so I had to get rid of that. Took some time, but painted it all out. Then I tossed him in the picture and I'm like, it's kind of a short fence, so I got the idea of grabbing it, flipping it, and then try to make it into some weird military barrier that's like up and then angled. I don't know. I think I might have seen something like this somewhere before, or I'm just like spewing garbage out of my mouth. I don't know. But I thought this was a thing, so I was just like, oh, I'm gonna try to recreate that. So just flipped it, and look at that, it's a barrier. Now I'm just matching the bars up best I can so it has some sort of continuity, it's not just all weird and jagged and seems out of place. Literally just like copy and pasting what's beside it over top of barriers and just sliding the barriers over. But I got kind of lazy because near the end like there's so many in a row, so I'm like, fuck that, dude, I'm not trying to do that. So I ended up just taking the rest of the fence and pulling it straight up, so the barrier halfway slants and halfway goes up vertically with this like little peaky crevice hole thing. So now we just gotta drop our boy back in this picture, and I'm trying to work out the scale, trying to move him around and figure out, okay, whereabouts does he look like he's human scale in this scenario. Once we find it, we just have to mask out his arms so that they're in front of the barrier where the rest of his body's behind the barrier, so it looks like he's reaching over properly. Now I'm looking for something I can replace the background with. See, because in the distance it's just like some bright sky and some trees, but I wanted to have a sort of apocalyptic vibe, so I searched for some abandoned cities and I'm just gonna mask it out and try to plop it back in there. But this picture is kinda weak, it's not gonna really stand anything all on its own, so I need like a cityscape to drop this barrier and this dude into. So I found this really cool painting, I think it's a painting at least, yeah it must be a painting, and I tossed it down in there. It's of London, England I'm guessing, because I'm pretty sure that's Big Ben. So now I'm just fiddling with it and trying to drop it in there and wondering how I can work it together. And I see that building at the top right and that steel girder thing that's kinda sticking out, and I'm like, okay, well I'll stick the girder in and then take the building out and then just worry about the sky later. So that's what I did basically. And now to get the sky, I was trying to grab pieces of the sky from the right, but it wasn't working because of the darkness, so I grabbed a big chunk from the left and kind of stretched it, fiddled with it, and then blended it with like the eraser on low opacity. And then it was just a matter of masking out the steel girder so the sky goes behind it. This is kind of like the first real matte painting I've ever done, so it's definitely a learning experience, but I'm not gonna say I'm really good yet. It's quite shit, really. So here I was thinking I'll extend the barrier all the way past the screen, but then I was like, it's not really gonna look that good and it kind of takes away too much from the actual cool background painting. So I was like, fuck that, delete it all. In fact, delete the original part from the original picture too. Original. And now I'm just doing like a real rough kind of color matching. It's not the best, but I go in at the very end and like do one last pass through and finish the color and kind of match it a lot better. Like in the final picture you'll see it. But I'm just kind of quickly matching it so my brain can work with it better while I'm editing it. I toss like a gray opaque sort of solid over the city in the background to give it more depth and make it look more far away. Added some drop shadow to my boy who's leaning over the fence there because, you know, you're gonna cast a little bit of shadow when you're leaning over a barrier like that. In hindsight, maybe I should take the opacity of the shadow down a bit, but I don't know, maybe I'm still gonna fix it in the time lapse. And finally I cropped the damn picture. So now it's time to add a zombie in. So the only zombie I could find that was kind of gonna fit this scenario was a Black Ops 3 zombie. I think it's from Black Ops 3. And so I just dropped that bad boy in, rough color match again, and I thought I'd get funky with it, add a horde in the background.
Just find a way to get lost. Yeah, we'll find a way to get lost.
So to make the zombie shadow, I just kind of took the zombie, copied it, rotated it, lowered the opacity. That's it, easy shadow. And now my boy gets a knife, so we're gonna throw that knife in his hand, color correct it roughly, and then just kind of blur the edges of the photo so the main focus stays crisp where the edges are blurred. And that's pretty much it. I just did a final color correcting, but that was off camera. And this is the final photo. It's not the best, but I don't know, I think it's pretty cool. My first attempt at matte painting, which is like sticking multiple images together and making an image, I guess, if you don't already know what it means. But let me know how you guys think about the picture. Drop a comment if you think it's cool, toss a like, I'd appreciate that very much, and also hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Hope you're having a great day, or night, or evening, or morning, or afternoon. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.